Morning, guys. So it is about the time I said I would go live this morning. I said about 8:15. It is 8:17. Um, so here's what's been going on. So I've been having a really hard time lately, probably the past month. My hair is a little bit jacked up this morning. I've been having a rough time about the past month or so, maybe a little more like 5-6 weeks. For those of you that really know me well know that change is hard for me. Change has always been hard for me. Not knowing what's going to happen, not having answers, things like that are all really hard for me. And the past year and a half have been full of crazy changes ever since October of about 2015. To go back to October 2015, that was when I was about 2 weeks away from my scheduled C-section with the twins. And I went in for one of my appointments because at that time I was going to the doctor twice a week for heart monitor checks. So checking both of the twins on the heart monitor. And at that time, my doctor basically said, you know what, I didn't know you were driving 45 minutes one way to work. You can't be doing that. You need to be at home. So you can't work anymore. So basically, this was a Monday, like 12 days before 13 days before I was supposed to have my C-section. And she said, you can't go back to work. She wrote me a letter for HR, and you can't drive. You have to stay home. You have to take care of yourself, be on bed rest, or these twins are going to come early. And I was 34 weeks at the time. Obviously, we don't want them to come at 34 weeks. That's a bad idea. So, I let HR know, they talked about it and decided they were going to let me go for my job. The job where I was at, that's how we had our insurance. So, big, huge change. We had to rush to get on my husband's insurance, and basically, you can't come back here. You've been let go. I hadn't been there a year yet. Didn't qualify for Family Medical Leave Act yet, so they let me go. So I didn't even have a job to go back to if I wanted to. As a Beachbody coach, I had been working super hard since April of 2014 to make it so I wouldn't have to go back to my job. We had wanted to get the business to 6 figures, but we didn't do that. We had got it to about $60,000 a year. Disclaimer, Beachbody does not guarantee any level of income. It's all based on the individual effort of each person. Good morning, Kissa. So, I don't know how long this video is going to go. Could be 5 minutes, could be 10 minutes, could be 20. I don't know. I'm going to try to keep it 5 to 10. But, all of a sudden I didn't have a job to even go back to. We had even said, $60,000, we're going to be fine with that. You're not going to return to your job after maternity leave. But to have them say you can't come back is a totally different thing. Because it's a set salary, that's a set amount of money that you're going to get. Where if you're doing network marketing of any kind, you don't have a set income. You have no clue how much you're going to make. Obviously, the more work you put in, the more money you're going to make, but you're never 100% sure what you're going to make that week. That's kind of the hand toss part of network marketing, the part that I actually dislike, because as I said before, I'm a planner. I need to know what's going on. So not knowing what's going to happen is hard for me. So first that happens. So, I'm going to be home with the twins. It's going to be okay. Things felt fine. And then, they're 6 days old. We're at home and Victoria's heart stops. We've called 911, get her resuscitated, go to Children's Hospital. And there again, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if she's going to have brainwaves. You don't know if she's going to try to breathe on her own, which she didn't do any of that. And they determined 5 days later her brainstem was dead. And then again, you're having to make hard decisions. Obviously, we didn't want her to just be a vegetable in our house in a coma on a machine. And that's why we chose to go the way that we went. With a dead brain stem, she was going to stay in a coma for the rest of her life, maybe 2 years max. And of course, we couldn't do that to her. So that was curveball number 1. So, then we have to deal with funeral arrangements, all those things. Mourn her death, which obviously you never stop mourning their death. like a year, how long has it been? Almost 15 months later, and we're still not the family we used to be. And those of you that have lost a child know that you're never going to go back to the kind of normal that you had before. But then at that point, it is, God, my hair is crazy today. Sorry about I'm talking about my hair, but as a Beachbody coach, most of my business is done through social media. And the one thing I really, really hate about social media is the people that make it appear that their life is perfect, that their life is fantastic. Nothing could possibly go wrong in their life. It's great, it's grand, it's awesome. And that's the one thing I hate about social media. Because I feel like anybody who runs a business on social media needs to put up some kind of front. And when all this was going on, I had swore I was not going to be the person that put on a front and pretended everything was okay and put flowers and happiness and joy and all the fun things I'm doing with my kids and all the great things on Facebook. I swore I wasn't going to be that person, but I became that person. This is my confession. I became the person that, acted like we were healing perfect, that we were great, that, I was back on track with my fitness. I was back on track with my nutrition. We were seeing a therapist. We were doing everything we were supposed to do. Great time freedom, financial freedom, everything sweet, wonderful, rainbows, happy puppies, great. And that's not the case. I tried to share my feelings a lot. On days it was hard, I would share, but every day was hard, and I didn't share that. I have major issues with emotional eating. I would mention my emotional eating, but not to the extent it was, because to me, I was ashamed. I was ashamed that I suffer from emotional eating, that I've suffered from emotional eating for 24 years, and that I've never done anything about it. Yes, I've gone to therapy. I went to therapy as a teenager for competition anxiety. I went to therapy in my mid-20s for the domestic violence. I went to therapy last year for a few months, family therapy, for obviously the loss of my daughter. But in all those times I went to therapy, I never once talked about the emotional eating. I never once talked about how my depression affects my eating. Talked about how my depression affects getting out of bed in the morning, doing regular everyday things, but I never have talked in therapy about my emotional eating. And I've said on social media that I suffer from emotional eating, but I never really shared the extent that I suffer from emotional eating. The first time I was on my health and fitness journey, I had my son in 2006, and I didn't start my first journey, until February of 2009. So over 2 years later, I finally decided to do something about what I had been doing to my body. I went on Weight Watchers. I was going to Zumba classes. My hair is crazy. I was doing all these things that I knew I was supposed to do, but I was still struggling from emotional eating. I had struggled with emotional eating, as I said, for 24 years. Never dealt with it in therapy. At that time, obviously, I was in therapy for the domestic violence. And we would touch on my issues with relationships, because I would push people away. And that's how I was ever since, even I think before I was in that domestic violence relationship. I would push people away. I would purposely do things to make them break up with me and make them leave me. I don't know if that has to do with being adopted. I don't know what that has to do with, but that is really the kind of things that I processed at the time. And it did have to do with being adopted. Good morning, Heidi. So obviously pushing people away had to do with being adopted and feeling like nobody wanted me. And that's how I felt. So, obviously I worked on that and I processed that in therapy. And that's why, I'm happily married. We have a fantastic marriage. That's how we were able to get through losing a child, able to get through financial issues like we've had this past year. Yes, we've had financial issues this past year, and I'm going to cover that as well. But, I never ever even mentioned emotional eating in therapy. The 3 times I was in therapy separately, the 3 separate times I've been in therapy, I just didn't. And I think I was a Beachbody coach. I didn't want to feel like I was a fraud. I didn't want to feel like I was not being honest with people. I felt like since I have issues with emotional eating, how could I be a coach to other people? How could I tell people how they can eat healthy, how they can eat clean, how they can do all these things when I can't do it myself? Yeah, I've done it for short amounts of time. I've done it for a 21-day fix round here and there. I've done it for 30 days of country heat, but I never did it 100%. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, the first time I did 21-day fix, I lost 10.6 pounds and 11 inches. That was the one and only time I have gone 3 weeks, 100%, no cheating, no emotional eating setbacks, nothing. Even with this round of 21-day fix extreme, last week I couldn't do it. I cheated last week for 3 days. I cheated. I didn't go 100%. I'm going to be honest. No, I say change is hard for me. It's hard. The week before Christmas, that's when my health issues started to flare up again. In September, I had done the Whole30, so I had cut out grains, dairy, sugar, alcohol, legumes, all those things. I cut it out and I added it back in one at a time like you're supposed to do. And yes, I have food sensitivities. I have food sensitivities to gluten, to dairy, and to sugar. Alcohol, wine is okay. Like things like vodka, things like that are okay, but beer is not okay because obviously gluten. So even though I know these things, I know these are things that I'm sensitive to and I'm going to feel sick, and I'm going to feel horrible, I still eat them. I still do it because I suffer from emotional eating. For those of you that don't know what emotional eating is, for me, emotional eating is binging. I could say that I have binge disorder. I don't binge and purge, I binge. I could say that that's a food eating disorder for me, and it is. I don't have a technical, mental health diagnosis from it. I just know that I suffer from emotional eating. So when I'm stressed, even when I'm happy, any kind of change in emotion, I binge, and I can't control it. There's just something in my brain that can't stop the binge. Things have been hard, I know that I know this is hard. I know that I'm doing horrible things to my body when I have gluten, sugar, dairy. I know I do horrible things, but I still do it anyway. I still eat it. I still want the chips. I still want the potatoes. I still want the cheese. I still want to get cheese curds and french fries from McDonald's. I still want to have a strawberry shake. I still want to have these things that I know my body can't handle, and I still do it, and I make myself feel sick at this point because I didn't have these sensitivities before. My naturopath said that food sensitivities can be brought on by a loss of a child, stress, which are all things that I have. I've lost a horse these past few weeks. I have had a breast cancer scare these past few weeks. My dad's best friend had leukemia and was doing okay, but then he got an infection that turned into pneumonia, and he is on his deathbed in hospice right now. So that is going on in my life. My business is struggling because I am struggling. I know it's struggling because I'm struggling. I have struggled so much since October of last year, 2015. I've struggled so much, and I take it out on my business. I take it out on myself. I take it out on my health. I take it out on my eating. I take it out on my family. It's been a struggle because I struggle. Being a Beachbody coach is about helping other people to get healthy, to lose weight, to lead healthy and fulfilling lives. And if I'm not leading a healthy, fulfilling life, I can't help other people live a healthy, fulfilling life. That's just the reality. And I need to get healthy for me. And as I'm trying to get healthy, as I'm trying to make progress, I take steps back. I take steps back and I struggle and I look at my income with Beachbody, I look at the sole income that supports my family, because me and my husband are huge proprietors in equally supporting the family. Obviously, he makes more money, so he pays more stuff, but we both support the family. He has been married and divorced, and finances has always been a huge issue, so we've always been that married couple that just keeps our finances separate, and then we have a joint savings account. That is just how we are, and it works for us, and it's worked for us. We'll be married for 3 years in a few months, and we've been together for 6 years and lived together for 5, so it's worked for us. Yeah, we fight every once in a while, but not a lot, maybe once every few months. It's pretty good, especially with losing a child. So, finances is stressful for me. Not having a successful business is stressful. To lose $10,000 in 1 year is stressful. And I know exactly why I lost those $10,000 last year. It is, and why my income is falling more. It's me. It's because of me. I could come on here and say, I just want to help people. I just want to make a difference. But if I can't help myself first, how can I help you guys? Honestly, I can't. I can't help other people when I can't even help myself. So, there are some changes that are going to happen. Obviously, I'm going to have to find a therapist to deal with my emotional eating. That's first. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I am going to not tell you about the rainbows and puppies and greatness in my life every day. I'm going to be honest with you. When I feel like I'm going to binge, I'm going to come live on Facebook and talk about it. Because it's free therapy, right? Because I know my followers understand. If you think I'm a crock of crap, if you think that I'm, whatever, I can't help people because of this, that, you can't see where I'm coming from, then you know what? Click on follow, please, because this is who I am, and this is who I'm going to be, and this is what I'm going to share. And if you guys can't handle it, then you shouldn't be following me, because I need to take care of me so I can take care of you guys. And, I want to help end the trend of obesity. I want to help people live healthy and fulfilling lives. I want to make a difference. I know the obesity rate is great. I'm one of those people. Since the week before Christmas, I have gained 12 pounds. I'm going to be honest. In 5 weeks, I have gained 12 pounds. That is because I am an emotional eater. That is because I will start doing workouts and have a setback, have a binge, and feel crappy about myself and stop working out. That is my reality. Part of it is partially my gut issues. As you guys know, being my naturopath, I have poor gut health. I need to repair my GI tract. The binging is finally catching up with me. The binging on gluten, sugar, and dairy that I have been doing that caused me to have diarrhea and caused me to have gut pain and caused me to have headaches is all catching up to me. And I need to undo all that. So that's why I'm on GI Repair. That's why I'm on 5-HTP. That's why I'm on magnesium. That's why I'm on vitamin D. That is why I am on a probiotic. That is why I'm on an iron-rich diet. In addition to my vegan Shakeology, that is why I have to eat gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free starting today. Period. When I feel a binge coming on, again, I'm going to come live on Facebook and talk to you guys about it. And you guys are going to help me not binge while I'm looking for a therapist that is affordable, that I connect well with, that I can be honest with and actually share my emotional eating struggles. Because emotional eating is a eating disorder. Emotional eating is a mental health disorder. It is something that I need to fix ASAP. And I'm going to share the journey of me fixing my emotional eating with you guys, because I think a lot of people on my page suffer with emotional eating. I know that most of you follow me because you're who I was back when I started my journey, but maybe you're who I am now. Maybe you struggle from emotional eating. Maybe you've lost a child and now you can't process these things in your mind. So you eat out of stress, you eat from depression, you eat from anxiety. Food is comfort for you. Food can be an addiction. Food is an addiction for me. You know, I feel like I haven't been 100% honest, because I feel like if I really share my eating and weight struggles with you guys, you're going to be like, how can she be a Beachbody coach? She is, okay, what am I? I weigh 212 pounds as of last Monday. I don't know what I weigh today, because I'm not going to take my weight until after the 3rd week of 21 Day Fix Extreme. I'm not going to be like, I need to start over today, day 1. No, it's week 2 right now. I'm going to just keep going with it and then move on to Country Heat in 2 weeks. And then I will do my weight. But I weigh 212 pounds. I'm 5'10", so you know, when I was at my ultimate goal weight, I was 160 pounds, and that is really, I want to be in the 160s, 160, 170, in there, size 8. That's the goal. Because I know the scale is not 100% accurate, it's not 100% truthful, for obviously I do progress pictures and measurements between every program I do. You know, so I'm 212 pounds today. When I was at my heaviest in 2009, when I started my journey, I was 230 pounds. So that tells you right now I'm 18 pounds less than what I was when I started my first fitness journey back in 2009. And it took till 2011 to lose the 75 pounds that I lost. 80s, yeah. 75, 80 pounds that I lost. And, you know, if it takes me another 2 years to get to my goal weight, that's okay. But it's a journey, and I want to have a healthy journey. I want to get rid of my binges. I want to cure my emotional eating. And I think really the only way to do that is therapy. And therapy where it's actually someone who focuses on the emotional eating aspect. Not saying it's other things that are causing it. It's this and this and this. No, let's get to the root. Let's figure out 100% what is causing this emotional eating. Why I'm 212 pounds, and I have to lie to people about why I'm 212 pounds. I think as a Beachbody coach, again, we try to put out the facade that everything's great, everything's perfect, everything's wonderful, even when it's not. Because if we're not honest with ourselves, the business is going to suffer, because people are going to see right through it. I'm sure you guys see right through it. That, you know, how could things be great in her life? How could she have all this financial and time freedom when she lost a child? When, you know, the economy has been suffering this past year? When, you know, whatever you want to think about it. But, you know, I'm not being honest with you guys. Finances have been a struggle this year. It is hard to go from having a set salary plus a home business income to having just a home business income. It is hard because nothing is certain with this industry. And that's not to say that people can't make 6 figures, 7 figures, can't do great things with this business. But there are people that are 100% honest with themselves, that truly share their struggles. Maybe some of them do show a fake facade, but I don't want to be one of those people, because I know that you guys don't buy it. I know that you guys can see I struggle and I don't share. You know, I post progress pictures and you can see that I'm not making progress. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not making progress. In the past 5-6 weeks, I've gained 12 pounds when I've been doing programs and trying to eat clean. But you guys know that that's fake. You guys know that that's not real. And now I have been live for over 20 minutes. But that's really what I wanted to share with you guys, that I have been struggling, and I am going to figure out what's going on with me, share every step of this journey with you guys, and really help those that are struggling with emotional eating, because I'm sure a lot of you here do. You want to send me a message, you know, whatever you want to do, you want to reach out to me, you know, we can help each other. And yeah, I'm a Beachbody coach. Yeah, I still need to make money doing this business. But if I don't help myself, I can't help you guys. So that's what I'm doing as of today. I'm helping myself. I'm being honest about my emotional eating. I am being honest about my struggles, and I'm sharing it with you guys. And hopefully, you guys can understand where I'm coming from and be sympathetic. And again, if not, can just click unlike, unfollow. That's fine. Because I want people here who are going to understand where I'm coming from. People who are going to stick around because they know that I want to help them. That want to be on a journey with me. That's really what this is about. So I'm sorry I've rambled on for so much, but this was my confession to you guys. And I'm going to be 100% honest and vulnerable with you guys and let you know what's going on. So now it is time to get my workout on. So hope everybody has a great Monday, and you'll be seeing more live videos of me. It may not always be at 8:15 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday, but it will be at least once a day. You know, it could be weird times when I want to binge and I'm going to come live and talk to you guys about it. So have a great day, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.